What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Back again with another video, and today we're going to be talking about Ronda Rousey's book, My Fight, Your Fight. My Fight, Your Fight is a autobiography by former UFC welterweight champion Ronda Rousey. It chronicles her life throughout the UFC, as well as the early years before she even got signed to the UFC, like working for Strikeforce. The book covers certain aspects of her life, like her rivalry with Miesha Tate, a number of other things like her close relationship with her father, how was it like being raised by her mother, and a bunch of other things such as her Olympic career in judo before making the transition to MMA. Now, reading this book, it gave me a number of things when it came to giving my own thoughts, and there's some parts of the book that I liked, and there's some parts that I did not like so much. There's parts where Ronda Rousey comes off as very cocky, very arrogant, and then there's others that seem where she's very heartfelt and you feel compassionate towards her. So you kind of get into the mind of Ronda Rousey in this book, on the way she thinks and the way she acts, and it kind of gives you a little snippet of what would happen with her in the future regarding her WWE career, because this was written around the time where she was like on an undefeated winning streak in the UFC. So but no, it covers like things like when she wanted a one of those Hulk Hogan beat 'em up dolls of the 80s and stuff. Back then she had a speech impediment and she used to refer to Hulk Hogan as Belgrin. But it would be like early signs of that she'd end up becoming a WWE superstar in the future. But other parts of the book, it covers the transition from her Olympic judo career to her MMA UFC career, and it covering up like I said, the rivalry between her and Miesha Tate. They cover that along the book because her and Miesha had this serious rivalry dating back all the way to Strikeforce. They mentioned the reality TV series The Ultimate Fighter as well in there. And like I said, there's times in the book where she comes off as very cocky, very arrogant, and then there's other times where you feel very empathetic towards Rousey and the situations that she faces throughout her life within this book. So your thoughts and perceptions kind of change along the way while you're reading this, because it just doesn't come off as a typical MMA fighter book, where you become the cream of the crop and the crop of the cream. It also explains why Ronda Rousey has this competitive attitude, and that's all due to being raised by her mother and her competitive nature, because her mother, I believe, also competed in the Olympics as well, but it covers that structure right there, and it explains where she gets that from. It covers the details of a lot of the fights she's been in. She goes into a lot of details of the fights that she's went through throughout her career within the book, and she gives her own side of motivational speeches on how she perceives life and how people shouldn't give up on themselves in order to reach their goals. I kind of have like a mixed feeling when it comes to this book, because like I said, there's some parts where I did like and didn't like so much. So my thoughts are kind of like front and the center, where it's like it's not so much good but not so much bad, but somewhere in between. So if I were to give this book a grade on the Richter scale, I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10. It's a good read. I recommend it, and I don't think it's only for like MMA fans, but for those that are kind of looking for some sort of, I guess, inspiration or some sort of message to help someone get through the day on how to handle their own issues to confront, because sometimes you got people that are underdogs and they're still trying to get their big break as well. It's not a good book, it's not a bad book, but there's times where in the book where you love Ronda Rousey, and there's times in the book where you hate Ronda Rousey. So like I said, it's a mixture of things, because she comes off as very pompous and very arrogant. But when it mentions her tragedies in her life, you kind of become a little bit sympathetic when it comes to that aspect when she's discussing it in her autobiography. At one point or another, Hollywood was going to be working on a biopic of this movie. And I believe at the time she was still with the UFC. She was still on an undefeated streak. With all this craziness going on with the pandemic right now, I don't even know if that biopic is still on the tables. It's still in the works. But I guess we're just going to have to wait and see how things turn out, if that's going to happen, because we already know that she's already retired from the UFC, and she had this short stint within WWE, and kind of in between that, she's been making movies. She was in the Fast and Furious franchise. She was in the Expendables franchise. She was in that film with Mark Wahlberg, Mile 22, along with Lauren Cohen. So we don't know where it's going to go next with her career. You're going to have to just wait and see. But I recommend this book. It's a good read. And if you already read this book, comment below. Give me your thoughts. Did you like this book? Did you hate this book? Do you have any family members that read this book? And give me all your overall thoughts, opinions on what you guys thought about it. And if you want to see more content like this, please like, share, comment, subscribe for more videos like this. All right, y'all have a great day. Later. Peace.